The first 8 days that I used this patch, I didn't feel any different, with one exception. But on the 9th morning when I got up, something rather amazing happened. What I would kind of call a miracle. It's just science, but it's more fun to call it a miracle. For over a year, I'd been getting up in the middle of the night 1, 2, and sometimes even 3 times to go to the bathroom. On that 9th day, I slept from when I went to bed at night all the way through to the morning and didn't have to get up once. Now that was a rather amazing miracle for me, and I thought, well, how long is this going to last? Is this the patch that's doing this? And I couldn't account for anything else that would be responsible for that. But I'm on day 20 now of these patches having done that, and that's a miracle. To be able to sleep from the night, or from the time you go to bed until the time you get up in the morning, maybe being aware that I might have rolled over once or twice, but having that kind of solid sleep and not having to get up is just an amazing miracle to me. And that's not why I started using the patch. I started using the patch for other health concerns that I have, and I began discovering that there are so many testimonials or miracles out there by people like myself telling their story with conditions that just run the gamut, things that are just absolutely incredible, to the point where I was even wondering, why didn't somebody tell me about these patches years ago? Because I've been looking, searching. I've gone to Duke University Medical Center. I've had the doctors gather their team after 2 months and tell me what they were going to do, and I opted out. Nope, not going to do that. And I had my barber who flew me up, paid $800 to fly me up to Idaho for a team of doctors who were waiting up there to see if they could help me. I went up there, and that didn't really resolve my problem at all either. I've been on a whole food plant-based diet for 2.5 years, very consistently. I've modified my diet. I get out there and exercise. I try to eat good food. I've done chlorine dioxide. I've had a nurse practitioner who found out about my situation and got me the fenbendazole and the ivermectin for conditions that she thought would be able to help. And yet these patches are just, I just wish somebody had told me about these. And come to find out that somebody tried. They sent me in my text messages a video to look at. And for some reason, I didn't look at this video. Maybe it just got lost in things. I don't know. And but this video was an amazing video where the individual who has discovered these patches or has made these patches, the inventor, has over 100 patents dealing with these patches and the technology, and it's just a rather amazing thing. I just feel like if I don't tell people about these things, when I know they have conditions that may or may not respond to these things, they don't even have the opportunity to look at this, then that's on me. And I feel a weight, a responsibility to share this stuff. I've got, 8 of my family members are on these patches now. My daughter, who broke down and cried on the phone last week when she said, Dad, this technology, it gives me hope. I thought I was going to the doctor. She said my thyroid gland was being destroyed by my own body. I've got all these problems, and I had no hope. I was afraid to hope, and now I can hope. And talking to her just this morning, she said, Dad, one of the first things I've noticed is I got up and had energy all day long, energy I haven't had before. And she told me all the things she did from morning until night, and the energy that she had from these patches, which is just one thing that many people noticed. Better sleep, inflammation process is going away, things that people say, well, my doctor says there's no cure for this, going away. One individual who was on the CPAP machine for 15 years, 15th month into using these patches, he's off that, and stories like that. And symptoms that we can't talk about because the company doesn't talk about the symptoms because we don't treat or cure any diseases, is what we're supposed to, and we're not supposed to talk about these diseases that we wish we could, because these miracles are happening all over the place. But I think people just need to examine this stem cell technology, and you can go online on YouTube and find out a lot about the X39 and stem cell patches. And I would say be careful if you decide you want to get these patches. Walmart sells them for $19.99. and they're from China and they don't work. And there's other places you can get these patches, but be very careful. Get them from the company. Talk to somebody who's used these patches. I have certain recommendations I make to my family members about these patches, the way I would recommend they start and how they use these and which ones to use. And so if my friends or somebody have questions about that, you're certainly invited to, get in touch with me. I'll tell you more about it and give you my 2 cents worth on it. I just wish I had known about these things years ago. Somebody I wish had told me this about these patches. I had a barber who, I told you again, spent money to get me out there to get these things checked out. A friend who was going to pay my way down to South America for a healer he heard about. Going to pay my way, and whatever it took, he was going to take care of that for me. And yet these patches come along. Oh, if only we could have known about these patches. So I just hope you investigate this thing, this stuff, and find out for yourself, because whatever condition you have, you'd be surprised what these stem cell patches are capable of doing. Okay, yeah. I just have to share this information with you. We're several weeks down the road from when I started this video, but we have 11 friends and family members who have wanted these patches, and so we set up an account with the company, LifeWave. And so we can purchase these patches on our own for ourselves or for other people if they want. But we can also help people set up their own account. And it's interesting that just in talking to family members, just casually, some of them got excited and went out there and bought patches at Walmart. And I had no idea that they were so interested in these patches when I just mentioned a few things about them, but they went online and looked for the X39 patch. And and they found that they could buy these at Walmart for $19.99 or something like that. They're from China. They're fake. They do not work. And so I had a brother-in-law and my son had a father-in-law, and they both did this. And so we got to be careful when we tell people about these patches to tell them, warn them, look, get them through us, get them through the company, make sure they're the right kind of patches that are going to work. You want the patented patches. Everybody's out there trying to duplicate these things and make it look like they have the patch. They don't. Get them from the company. And so I recommend people get a hold of my family members or get a hold of my wife, me, whatever, and we'll help you set up your own account with this company and get the kind of patches and give you the kind of information you need to kind of launch you in the right direction when it comes to these patches. It is so fun to see what's happening. We organized, or I put together, a Marco Polo group. It's called the Patching Group, or the Patch Group. And we share with we have about 7 or 8 or 9 of us on there, and we share with each other the miracles and the little stories, the positive things that are happening relative to these patches. So yes, you do need to get involved in this thing in a way that you do a deep dive and find out from the research and from the science what these patches are really all about. It is so much fun to see people's lives changing in ways that they never expected and never knew could happen.